Valve just gave us a huge teaser for the next CS2 update. This right here is one of our first looks at Train in Source 2 after CS2 just changed their Twitter banner. Weeks ago, we went over the new files for Train, which included this graffiti and all of the sound event updates. But now with this latest picture, Valve is showing off a rain section of the new map we have never seen. Train is expected to have a rainy remake going by the recent files, so this is just an early teaser for it. Similar to how CS2 changed their banner for Source 2 Inferno before it was released. This wasn't it though, as the CS2 account replied to a picture of 3 clicks outside with the text "fine," playing off of the running joke that big updates release while 3 clicks is on vacation. They also replied to a tweet by Rops, as when he asked about Train after the banner changed, CS2 replied that it is just elephants. For a second I thought it was a troll, and I'm sure some would as well, but then I remember seeing elephants in Counter-Strike 2, so I hopped into Overpass and quickly found multiple pink elephants. So don't be surprised if there really is elephants in the new update, maybe hiding around on a train, or they could even make a cool cosmetic out of them. Or maybe Valve is just saying it's an elephant as a joke, seeing as the ground looks like the skin of a large elephant. Or they just want to let us know about the elephant in the room. Either way, it's very clear Valve has a liking to elephants right now. Another thing that needs to be pointed out is that on the Baggage Vanity map, there is an elephant. Baggage being a map which is centered around an airport, while Train is a map centered around a train station, makes it seem likely that we will see this same elephant, especially if Valve is hinting at them. It's now been 20 months, almost 2 years, since Valve has shown off Train in their CS2 trailer. So is it finally time for us to get Train, but with a new rework? There is also a big discussion on if Train will be joining the map pool, and if so, what map will it be replacing? Many are wondering what will actually happen, seeing as it's so close to the Shanghai Major, which is starting before the end of the month. So will Valve add in Train and make all the pros learn new smokes for the new map pool? The thing is, if Valve wants to add Train into the map pool and replace a map, I believe they will do this right after Shanghai. You look at something like Anubis, Valve added it on August 16th, 2022, but at the time it was not in the active duty map pool until November 18th, 2022, after the Rio Major. At the time, Anubis replaced Dust 2 as it was barely being played. When you look at the last 3 months and the least played map, well, right now, it is Vertigo. We need to also pay attention to these community-made maps in this new update to see if Valve either takes them out or replaces them with some new maps. Lately, some nice workshop submissions have been fixing some bugs, almost like they're getting ready for the next swap. The thing is, this update is coming with some nice timing. I'm assuming it's not on purpose, but 10 years ago in December 2014, that is when Valve came out with the remade version of Train. So 10 years later, here we are about to play on the new remade version of Source 2 Train. Hopefully this means other maps like Cobblestone are just a few months away from releasing. For some other news, there was an update to Steam Mobile recently to make it more noticeable when someone is trying to log into your account from a new device or location, giving you more warnings that you're about to get hacked and or scammed. Valve is getting a lot more confident with the state of Anim Graph 2. If you missed it around 1 month ago, Valve dev Fletcher Dunn confirmed Valve was reworking the entire animation system for CS2, which uses Anim Graph that came out during Half-Life Alyx. This also started being used for Deadlock, but more recently, many new animations linking to Anim Graph 2 have been appearing for a few heroes and even troopers. Now when you play Deadlock, Valve is using Anim Graph 2 by default on the troopers. You can see this for yourself in the console with Citadel Trooper AG2 enable, and it should be on true by default. This does not mean the new system is ready completely, but Valve is definitely making progress and is slowly implementing the new system into Deadlock for the moment. We previously went over the greengrub.com countdown for Half-Life 2's anniversary, which is not made by Valve. Since our last video, they changed the background artwork, letting G-Man make an appearance while also putting the countdown near the bottom, with the new file name being, "What is it exactly that you have created?" So I hope you are getting ready for all the news that's coming for Half-Life soon. If you missed it, the Project Borealis prologue was pushed public on Steam, so anyone can wishlist it right now. This Project Borealis prologue is set to be between the events of Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and Project Borealis bringing players back into action with Gordon Freeman and his HEV suit as he returns to Ravenholm, but this time it's covered in snow. The creators, Icebreaker Industries, are using Unreal Engine 5 to recreate the Epistle 3 story by Mark Laidlaw. So this prologue will just be an early look of what's to come for Project Borealis. So far, we have a teaser trailer and a few other promotional images that you can find on the Steam store or their website. So will we now get some more news, seeing as we are coming up on Half-Life 2's 20th anniversary? We also can't forget about Half-Life 2 RTX that is being done by Arbifold Studios and Nvidia. A few months back, we took a look at some early gameplay from the Nova Prospect level, so is it time for us to get some more news soon? It's important to remember, as I see it get mixed up often, the Half-Life 2 Anniversary Update is completely different from Half-Life 2 RTX, which will have its own separate Steam store page when it is released. But with the Half-Life hype rising with HLX and now also the Half-Life 2 Anniversary, I am expecting some fan project announcements to come around, just like how you can now wishlist the Project Borealis prologue, as it overall just seems like some great timing. As well as all this, a discovery was made recently for Valve's cancelled fstop and the early Portal 2. The thing about fstop, it was never cancelled because it was a quote-unquote bad game. It was actually the opposite. Valve employees and even Gabe Newell liked the idea so much that they wanted it to be the next Portal. But a year into developing fstop, they cancelled the game altogether after the playtesters were confused why there was no portal gun. So we never got fstop, but not long after, the development was rebooted, but this time it turned into Portal 2. The thing is, we actually have a better understanding of this timeline, which comes from OC Flaywall, who wrote, "We can now say with almost certainty that fstop was cancelled at some point between the dates of October 22nd, 2008 and October 27th, 2008. It is known that Gabe Newell himself had been the one to reboot development in a Portal 2 meeting in October 2008, but not when exactly. October 22nd, 2008 was the day that Portal Still Alive dropped. Josh Weir, lead developer of Portal 2, stated that Still Alive was what motivated them to return to the portal gun. Beta researcher Lightvex had started to poke at the metadata for several Portal 2 development screenshots and concept art, seeing if we could find new information. That is when he landed on this concept art. It's just one of the many pieces produced to figure out how Portal 2's destroyed versions of the Portal 1 chambers could look. The thing is, this concept art's metadata dates it to October 27th, 2008. This means that 5 days after Still Alive had released, development on Portal 2 was already underway, making this concept art one of the first to ever be produced for it. After putting all of these new pieces together, they came to the conclusion that at any point between October 22nd and October 27th, the meeting that cancelled fstop occurred. Many other discoveries were made along this, as there was this concept art of a turret hiding in a companion cube, which is actually from January 2009, which would predate the hub concept art from February 2009. If you want more details on fstop and any other cancelled Valve games, I recommend you watch this video where I go over 40 of Valve's games that were never released.